Picking up the pieces, putting them together to make this house a home for you to rest. I will carry you on my back, protect you from the cold till you are stronger, till you are strong, so strong, till you are strong, so strong, till you are strong, so I will carry you on my back, protect you from the cold till you are stronger, till you are strong, so strong. In the memory
Welcome to the Alita Army channel. This is Radio KAOS, the voice of the Alita Army, episode 83, Battle Angel Alita Gunnm, chapter 5, Hell Trap Responsibility, where we discuss all things to do with the movie Alita Battle Angel, the Source Mega Gunnm, and the greatly desired sequels. I'm your host for this episode, Max Tech, and with me are Muskogee Creep from Denver, Colorado.
Hoka hey, Alita Army.
And Radio KAOS 2, who I've forgotten where he's hanging out. What state in the US you in again, KAOS?
He's in Ohio.
Oh.
Hello there.
There we go. We also expect to see a Den at some point. And maybe a Jaya, but I can't guarantee that.
Yeah.
I did ask him, but he said he was probably going to be busy. But yeah. So, a small crew this week. People busy. But that's okay. We can talk about the manga.
Yeah.
So how you doing, Creaky?
Oh, pretty good. We had a really good stream last night on the Alita stream, and that we had a lot of fun there. We kind of got off of Alita several times, but it was a lot of fun. Went for 3 hours, and that's what happens when Creaky runs a stream sometimes. It goes for a long time.
I expect you to talk for a long time today, then.
Oh, yeah.
Talk that long.
Yeah. So anyway, well, I didn't get a chance this time because I had a couple of things I had to do today, and I didn't get a chance to read the chapter 5. But I think I can remember it fairly well. So I think
you're really bad at reading, you know.
No kidding. Yeah.
Oh dear. And of course, our good friend Angelus is busy working. He's on shift work. He would have started an hour ago, so unfortunately he's unavailable. But oh well. Hopefully next weekend he'll be available when his shifts swap around.
Yeah, I think he goes mostly on. I think he goes mostly on night. Does he go on night shift next time? I'm not sure about that.
Yeah, he does. So he'll have been up all night, and he will get home, and he'll have an hour before this starts.
Yeah, so he'll be sleepy.
Yeah, he'll be groggy and stuffing his face full of pineapple pizza, probably.
More than likely. Yes.
Oh dear. Well, what's been happening in the world of Alita this week? Oh, I haven't opened this link yet. Do we have anything here? It's Junkie Excel from last week. Okay, so there's nothing new there. So close that down. Let me share my screen. It's that one. Shit. Okay, so despite him not being able to be here, Angelus has gone and trolled the interwebs for information on Alita for us. So thank you very much for doing that, Angelus. I really appreciate the assistance. Our first tweet that Angelus has dredged up for us is one from Charlie Schmidt. Don't know if he's in the audience today. Usually he's dumping wads of text in the audience if he is. So I don't know that we've got a Charlie Schmidt today, but here's a post from him. Alita Battle Angel is still in the Disney Plus top 10 in Denmark, Finland, Iceland, Norway, and Sweden for a 6th day and is now in the number 3 position. They are tied with Australia, where Alita was in the top 10 for 6 days. So I believe Disney, that kind of sounds to me like Alita Battle Angel has only just come to Disney Plus in those locales, and she's doing quite well, which is good to know.
Yeah, which helps us, I guess, on the sequel front, because the fact that she keeps getting in the top 10 in some of these countries, Disney's gotta be cognizant of that, I would think.
You would really hope so, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
But yeah, doing well. So it's good to know.
Yeah, I don't think it's on Hulu now, though, in the U.S. I'm not sure. I looked the other day, and it looked like it was off, or I guess it was a little bit longer ago than that. So I'm not sure if it's on there or not. But it's good to see that internationally Alita's doing well. So,
well, things keep moving around. I wonder if Alita will eventually settle on Disney Plus in the US.
Well, it's complicated. There are plenty of things on Disney. The thing is, Disney owns the rights to what they put on Disney Plus. Other streaming services like Netflix can put Disney things on their streaming, but it just costs them a royalty fee to do that.
Yeah.
So here's another tweet from Charlie. I didn't realize both of these were from Charlie. Well, there you go. It says, I was wrong. That wasn't Alita fan art. These pictures are photos of Alita cosplayer Snow Rukia on Instagram, and the photos were by Inverexis Photography. Those Alita cosplayers are amazing.
Yeah, they are.
So
Who's the one on EDM Saved My Life? That series of videos. Does anyone know?
Yeah.
Not off the top of my head, no.
Yeah. Yeah, EDM Saved My Life. Yeah, I saw a video of that this morning, and that is a really good cosplayer. Yeah, I can't remember. Yeah, nice. I wonder how much Rob Rodriguez, I wonder how much he notices this.
Well, he did say in his interview that every time he opens up social media, there's hundreds and hundreds of posts that have referenced him. So I'm presuming that he either just randomly runs through them or he's given a summary to quickly have a check through.
Yeah, I'm kind of wondering if he gets tagged on a lot of those too, so he can't miss.
Oh, he
them.
does. He does get tagged.
Yeah. So he can't miss them. So, but he probably has a social media person that probably goes through it first, I would guess.
I'd say so. So that's that one.
Yeah.
What's next? Okay. Becky is back.
Yes, she is.
You guys probably remember Becky's what do you call these things? God, brain's gone blank.
Yeah.
She puts up these quizzes,
Yeah.
asking questions, and a lot of them have Alita Battle Angel as an option because basically she wants us to go in there and smash it, and of course we oblige because that's what we do. So
yeah. That's right. That's our thing.
yeah. So as you can see, she's tagged the movies.
Yeah.
So anybody who does a search for those movies will come across this post, and there was 448 votes, of which just about half of them were votes for Alita. So there you go. So it's nice to have Becky back, giving a little bit of support in the way that she does.
Yeah, and you know, one of the neat things about Becky too is she tries to make these polls objective as possible. You know, I know she's an Alita fan, but she's also a DC fan. You know, so she tries to make them objective. You know, and I appreciate that. You know, it's pretty cool she does that. You know, because we have lost a couple of polls. You know, that she's put up. You know, we usually win though. We usually probably 90% of the polls that she puts out, we win, you know, because the Alita Army jumps on it, you know. So,
so the usual suspects like Charlie and Jar, and there's one from Angelus.
Yeah.
Crash Cat Stan, Amy, Snake Plissken. Why does it keep hiding everything? I don't know. Twitter's got something that's being its bonnet or something today because it just keeps hiding all the responses.
Yeah.
Look at this, another show more results. What is your problem? Just show the goddamn things.
Yes.
Pure Blood Vera, Alita 2563. So yeah, a lot of
did I see a tweet in there from Gal Gadot?
No, I don't think you did.
I thought I saw Gal Gadot in there somewhere. I don't know, maybe not.
No, I think you're imagining things. I don't think Gal Gadot would be posting on something like this.
I don't know. It looked like I saw the little check mark and all that good stuff. But anyway, never mind.
So yeah, here's a couple for Joker.
Yeah, there it is. See, Gal Gadot.
Oh, that's another other tweets.
Oh, okay.
tries
That's a
to feed you other treats,
Ah,
other treats.
yes.
I'm not saying the Gal Gadot is a treat, but some people would see it that way.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Big Money You Mad is backing Alita. Kal-El fan 49. So these are some of the peeps from the DC fandom who also are Alita fans.
Yeah. Well, the Joker gave Alita a little bit of a run in the beginning. It was kind of it was competitive at the very beginning, but of course when the Elite Army got engaged, it was just a matter of time.
Yep. But yeah, I mean, Joker was very popular at the time, but
Yeah.
the fandom didn't hang around like Alita
Yeah.
says.
Yeah. It's one of those movies. I saw it in the theater, and I enjoyed watching it all, but it's really intense. And the story is extremely intense, and it's not something that I would like to watch 4 or 5 times or something like that, or certainly not like Alita, where I've watched it almost 40 times. So
Yeah. Man, you've
I
got
didn't
past it. I'm
count.
gonna have to watch it a few more times.
yeah,
What was that? Sorry, Chaos. I spoke over you.
Oh, I
unintentionally.
didn't count.
yeah. I'm a newbie on this one. There are a lot of people in the Elite Army have seen Alita a lot more than I have. I mean, that admitted.
Well, I'm at 35 after our watch party a couple of weeks back for Alita Day.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm reading the books, just not watching the movie so many times. That's all.
Yeah. And Maxie probably would like for me to start reading more instead of watching the movie so much. So.
Look, you keep telling me, oh, you get all these hints and you go, oh, I'm going to have to read more of that. Oh, I'm going to have to read more of that. Just do it. Come on, Mikey it up.
Well, you got to quit assigning me homework, Maxie.
What was the homework I assigned you?
Read, Gary, read.
Well, that's what I want you to do.
I know. I got it. Yeah, I got it.
Anyway. And Charles is in chat there, so he's saying that there's a major event, Disney Plus, on November 12.
Yeah.
So his hope is that there'll be some news around that to do with Alita.
Yeah, there's a rumor running around that Disney is considering an Alita series. These rumors. I don't like getting my hopes up to get them dashed, every time, but because it happens. I think it wasn't. I think it was on YouTube. I think I saw a guy that put a video on there recently that Disney was considering an Alita series. But you kind of wonder. I mean, he had right at 100 followers or maybe less or something like that. And you just kind of wonder, where's, I mean, it doesn't instill a lot of confidence, have such a small YouTuber, with that kind of info, so, but maybe he does, hopefully. Well,
I'd just like to know how the hell he got that chance and how do I get one?
Yeah, exactly. I'd love to get that kind of chance.
Indeed. So that's the highlights of the tweets. Charles, you got 2 out of 3, so well done.
Yep.
We're moving on to news reports. There's not a lot in news this week. I had a little bit of a troll myself, and there was a couple of things about some of the actors from the movie doing other things, but they weren't really related. It's just like Alita Battle Angel was mentioned as one of their past works. But this one is somewhat connected to Alita, again, tangentially. But Emma Watts is leaving Paramount as motion picture president. So if you guys all remember that Emma was the executive that greenlit Alita Battle Angel when Rob Rod and James Cameron took it to her, probably I think it was for the 3rd time. And she said, yes, okay, and gave them the big budget, and off they went and made history. But Emma was very much involved in that, and she was very proud to have been involved in that. And she left what became Fox Searchlight Pictures under Disney due to a lack of any sort of control. Her position was basically in name only. once Disney started calling the shots. And she went, well, you know, if I'm not doing anything useful, I'm going someplace else. And she shuffled off to Paramount, which sounded useful at the time because we thought, oh, maybe she can, they can take the sequel over to Paramount and do it there. But that was before we found out the actual details about how it was going to be staying at Disney, if it was going to be doing anything at all. So we would have liked Emma to been able to do some work over there, but apparently there's been a bloodbath over at Paramount, and both her and Giannopoulos and another person have been axed, and she's moving on. So it'd be interesting to see where she ends up next.
I reckon she'll go back to 20th Century Studios.
You reckon?
Yeah, I don't know. That'd be a stretch, I think.
Yeah, I think so too. I hope that she. I mean, she's a very experienced motion picture president, so
Yes.
I can't see her being out of work for very long.
Yeah.
No,
it just
I can't.
it sounds like Paramount's made a mistake. Personally, I think.
I think so.
You know, somebody gets in there who thinks they know best and starts firing people. And,
That happens in business a lot of times, doesn't it?
yeah, it
It
does.
does.
I mean, I would expect that things are very tight in the movie making game at the moment because, you know, blockbusters haven't been happening. Lots of things are on the shelf. There's
Some
not
movies
making
are
much
pretty much
money.
doomed. Like, just because these movies are like being charged for delay, so it puts more money against it breaking even.
Yeah, exactly.
Is there any hint in this story that would suggest that she's gone somewhere else, or that she's being considered by another, theater?
No, this is just an announcement of the bloodbath at Paramount.
Yeah.
There's nothing about where the people are going. Probably won't hear that for a while.
Yeah. Yeah, it'd have been nice. You know, you can't, even though I know we all got our hopes up that maybe Paramount would do Alita, because I remember we did a bunch of tweets here many months ago about that. But, you know, in hindsight, I'd have been a stretch for Disney to turn loose of Alita, you know, whether or not they were at that time thinking of a sequel or a series or whatever, but turning loose of it would be like turning loose of some competition too, you know. So because Alita, if Paramount got it, certainly they'd probably release it, and now Disney's going to be competing with Paramount. So that's probably why they are hanging on to it too, you know. So
Disney's like a black hole of movie IPs.
What are you talking
just
about?
suck
They made the
everything in.
black hole.
yeah, they are the
That-
black hole. Exactly.
That was what I was alluding to.
Yeah.
It's not a bad movie, The Black Hole. I quite liked it.
Yeah, I did too.
Surprised I haven't rebooted that yet.
I know I've written a couple of letters to Disney since I'm an investor, and I haven't heard anything back from them. I'm just too small, you know, for them to worry about.
It is a shame. But,
Well, most of us are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
But we will keep working on it.
Yeah, we
as
will.
we can.
Well,
So
you know, the thing about working on it's not really, to me, it's not a chore. It's not work. I mean, it's fun to me, you know, just engaging with the fandom and keeping Alita current and, you know, active and that kind of stuff. To me, that's a fun thing. So it is not a chore for me at all.
No, fair enough.
Well, that was an interesting thing by Charlie Schmidt that Amazon Prime apparently is rumored to have taken Emma.
Ah. Yeah, well, that's speculation. But
Amazon. If it's speculation, it would probably have to do with the Amazon original movies.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't think she should stay idle.
Yeah.
So, as I have been doing recently, here's the a quick scan of what's coming up under Alita Battle Angel this week on YouTube, and of course there are lots. I wish there was a way to filter out all of these fake movie links, because they do actually fill the thing up pretty badly. But looking here at number 3, there's a name I recognize: Creek Indian Alita Army.
Well, the second one too. Look at that.
Oh yeah, that's you too. I say I recognize this one because it had the big red thing on the side.
Oh yeah, yeah.
But,
Well, that
Creaky's
one there, I
got-
made the thumbnail partially black because that's what it is, painted black. An old
Yeah,
Rolling
fair
Stones song that what's her name? Sierra, I guess is her name. That kind of redid it.
Yes, the redo of a redo of a redo by this
Exactly.
stage.
Yeah, yeah, that's it. That's the one.
I was very big on techno remixes back in the early noughties.
Yeah,
Techno remixes of just about everything, but
yeah, yeah.
it's always good. It's always good to.
Oh, you were a
change it
young buck back then, weren't you, Maxie?
up. Doesn't feel like I was ever young.
So, but yeah, I love doing these videos. To me, it's fun. It makes for some late nights sometimes. Because you can't do it during the day.
I expect it interrupts your reading time too.
Yeah, it does.
Got to go to the office during the day.
Yeah.
Only night I can really do it.
Yeah. Well, luckily
Run
my
on
office
commute.
is in my house, so.
So yeah, Creaky's keeping up with the Joneses and popping out lots of videos. Those ones are quite recent.
Mhm.
There's an unboxing here
Yeah, that's pretty
of
cool.
the manga set.
Yeah.
All these crappy
Yeah.
off links.
Yeah.
That's the Alita alternate head for the Hot Toys with the rooted hair. So rather than buying the rooted hair and adding it to the doll, they just replaced the entire head and had one with rooted hair. So
one thing I will mention is although some of my videos don't say Alita on them, she does have a cameo in the video.
All right.
Yeah. Well, certainly all those Martian memory games you play too has certainly got a lead in them. So
yeah, I've reached the conclusion that I'm going to just live stream me playing it because I'm taking forever to just try and level up and for the final event.
That's entertaining too, KAOS. You doing that? I mean, I've watched you play that game several times, and it's kind of like, I mean, it's not as good as watching the sequel, of course, but it's kind of neat. It is entertaining as heck.
Well,
it's like you're watching Alita fight. So
it is, but the jump mechanics are terrible. I ought to I ought to play the modified version of Oni where it's Last Order Alita at some point.
Yeah.
So apparently this is Alita Battle Angel 2. No video short off it, which
who did that
suggests that it's a load of crap. But
who did that one?
That's Samashu Yadev. So I think
Okay.
he's just chasing clicks from us.
Okay.
This is
You could look up the Alita cameo.
I will shortly. I'll do that. So
Look up
there's
KAOS after that.
there's another unboxing from Hot Toys, and a drawing in time lapse of Alita, which is cool.
Yeah.
With a look. What else have we got here?
More clickbait you can shake a stick at, but
yeah, there's a ton of it. I mean, they know we're out here looking for stuff to do with Alita, like I have done just here. So they're filling up the feed with clickbait, but at least it's keeping it current.
It's keeping it current. Yeah, exactly.
Now there's a Spanish version of the OVA.
Yeah. If you can find the DVD, which is rare, there's multiple spoken languages on it, but again, it's rare.
But there's a lot of these Alita full movie, but then you look at this and it's video shorts, and there's a link underneath the video taking you off YouTube. So avoid those like the plague. They'll just fill you up with adware and stuff.
Yeah.
Some more shorts. Another Spanish one. So yeah, Alita is still popping up on YouTube quite regularly.
Yeah.
That's what we want.
That's good. Yeah, that's very good. I'd like to one day. I'd like to do a fan short You know, I know a couple of actresses that would take that on. I mean, they're probably in like 30 or something like that, so they wouldn't be able to do the teenage Alita, but you know, maybe something like in the Badlands or something like that, you know, where Alita's 30 to 35 years old, you know, then maybe that could work, you know.
Looks like Action Filmmaking Podcast has re-released the Garrett Warren interview. So I've just pulled those out separately to have a listen to them later. But yeah, there's lots of stuff. There's another one there. Freaky.
Yeah, that one's coming out on Monday. That's a premiere set for Monday. So it's Hot Toys Alita. So yeah, Angelus, by the way, suggested the tune on that one, the song. So it's pretty good. So yeah, he DM'd me and say, when's that one coming out? Because he loves that song. So
there's an Alita Battle Angel review. So people are still discovering it. There's another creaky video.
Yeah.
You've been busy this week.
Yeah.
Why don't you take it easy on the videos this coming week and do some reading, eh?
Well, maybe not do 4 videos, maybe do 2. And then where the 2 places where I do the videos, I read, right? Maybe that's what, maybe I should.
Yeah. How about that?
Yeah. You know, Angelus and I have been threatening to start reading the manga again, you know, so, or manga, you know, so we've, of course, now that he's got this job, it's going to be tough for him, I imagine. So,
well, be sure to read Last Order because I'm working on that script.
Well, we'd probably start. Well, we did go through Mars Chronicle. I'm about halfway through volume 7. So see, Maxie, I have been reading some. Yeah. So anyway, did you want to pull up KAOS's?
Oh crap! I forgot. Okay.
The cameo.
Yeah, just say Alita
every music video I've been making recently has a cameo of Alita in it.
When did you post? When did you post it, KAOS?
I'll go find out.
Yeah, that way he can filter it out. You know. Yeah, I assume if you just typed in Alita Battle Angel cameo or Alita cameo, it'd probably pop up.
I've got KAOS Plays Clips.
Yeah, you could clip in KAOS Alita cameo, and that probably would narrow it down pretty good, I think. Well, I can do that too, actually.
It gives me KAOS Plays Clips, but that's about it on your site, KAOS.
Okay, I got like 3 things he's got there. He streamed one 2 weeks ago, one week ago, another one 4 hours ago. So you want me to share my screen on that one?
Yeah. If you found it, go for it.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see what we got here. I got to stop that share first. No, that's the wrong one. Okay, that one right there. Okay, can you all see that? We'll start with the one he just did streamed. So anyway, that's the.
I think it's starting.
I've got the sound off because I don't want us to get yeeted. So.
Can you click through it a little?
Yeah, let's see. Yeah, because it's let's see what we got there on that one. So there is Alita fighting I guess what are those critters there? KAOS? Are they androids or robots or what are they? I think he's muted. see us move it a little further. Well, there he is playing. Let's move it a little further. Okay. So anyway, yeah, that it's really enjoyable watching him play this. I mean, it's almost like watching an Alita series almost, you know. And that's what gets me is how he knows how to pick these weapons and these resources he has to have or to power up, you know, or to recover or whatever. You know, I don't know how he does that, but you know, let's move it a little further. Intermission. Okay, so move further past that. So anyway, that's that one. Come on, internet. Well, let's stop that one and go to the next one. So anyway, there's so I'm not playing the music again because I don't want us to get yeeted, but you know, here he does this some too. KAOS, is your mic something wrong with your mic? Oh, he's backstage. There you go. I'm sorry, KAOS. I was over.
He's backstage twice.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm sorry about that. But anyway, there's that one. Let me go back and then.
Yeah, I actually made that little thing.
No, that's the wrong one.
Frame by frame, the plain keyboard thing I created frame by frame.
Yeah. That's a short one. That's only 15 seconds. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's get your channel up there so we can see that. The channel, you know, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put that in the chat. So if anybody wants to go look at these, you know, they can, you know, definitely go.
Yeah, I just needed to revive this whole thing. Wait, how is there two of me?
I'm not sure.
New technology. It's
Yeah.
pretty cheap these days. Kind of like you know, the 3D printers.
Yeah. Anyway, there's KAOS's channel, so you can click on that link and you can go right to YouTube on KAOS's channel. You know. So anyway, I don't know why there's two of you in here. I'm afraid to remove one. I'm afraid it might kick the other one out. So.
Oh, remove me so I can just come back in alone. That should reset. Oh, that works.
Okay, so let me kick. Well, if I kick that, I'm going to try to kick this first one from the studio. I don't think it'll affect your first one. If it does, log back in. Okay, cool. It didn't kick you out.
No,
so
it didn't.
Cool, nice. So anyway, that and that's a good thing. So. Okay, any more news there, Maxie?
No, that's about it for news. Unless one of you guys has got something or wants to announce something that's happening soon, or if anybody in the chat's got something they want to share.
Yeah, I can't think of anything.
Now is the time to speak up.
Yeah, I can't think of anything. Except to just to remind everybody, you know, this is old news, but we talked about some last week, but we did have a successful Alita day. That was, and you know, the 2 days that followed were really successful. So, you know, and of course we all know Rob Rod, you know, actually retweeted, you know, one of the tweets about Alita day, and that was cool. So, but anyway, that's old hat. We don't need to go back over that. So, at least some folks hear us.
Oh, that's what we want.
Yep. Okay. That's all I got.
Rightio. So we're on to the manga.
You know, what's cool about that? Oh, go ahead.
Sorry, I was just adding some notes that you might
Yeah.
have heard the typing.
Yeah.
What were you saying, Kate? Ricky?
Yeah, that dog there, that's Fang, isn't it? Or is that
Duke Fang.
Duke Fang, yeah. Pulling that out of Makaku's eye, you know. So
or as Koyomi calls him a bit later on, Dufan.
yeah. Yeah, trying to put the French on it, I guess. So anyway,
Dufan,
yeah, and that's cool because he doesn't Duke Fang doesn't get killed, does he? He actually takes Koyomi back up to to her dad or something like that. So
Yeah. Well, it's not actually her father. It's the guy who runs the bar.
oh, the bartender.
Who-
Yeah,
He
that's right.
adopted her, but he adopted. That's close enough.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because Murdoch wasn't Murdoch Koyomi's father? Oh no, that's
No.
Shamira's. That's
No,
Shamira's
he wasn't her
daughter.
father, but
No.
she liked his dog, Murdoch's dogs.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
No, you're thinking of Sarah.
Yeah, Sarah
Murdoch
was
is
Murdoch's
Sarah's
daughter.
father.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
right. Yeah, that's right.
So just let me share a screen here so we
Yeah.
can zoom through the manga.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Yep.
Okay, so as you remember last time, Mukako had smashed his way into the Kansas bar, and he's sitting up there like a king on his throne. And Alita's like, okay, gonna have to deal with this scumbag. And then he starts slap talking her. We get down here the living pendant line.
Yeah.
Into a living pendant with which to adorn my chest. You remember that line from
from the movie, even. Yeah.
from the movie, but that was spoken in the underworld. It wasn't spoken in the Kansas bar. There's a lot
Yeah.
more conversation in the Kansas bar here than there was in the movie.
Yes.
But basically, he's a creepazoid,
Yes, he is.
and he calls himself the king of the maggot worms.
Yep.
She thinks he's pitiful, which is fair enough too.
Yeah, she's from what I remember, she's not really scared of him. She's
Not particularly. No,
yeah, which makes sense for our battle angel, doesn't it? She's not going to be.
it sure does. Basically, he says terror and pain flow from high to low, and he considers himself high. And if he subjects others to terror and pain, it will keep him safe. That's how his mind works.
Well,
Yeah.
here's the thing. I mean, Alita does have fear. It's not just the butterfly, but it's like she wants to make sure someone is safe.
Yeah.
She will be scared for that person.
Yeah.
Sometimes excessively so. Oh, that's all I'm going to say.
Yeah. But she's not really, well, at least in this instance, not really afraid for her life. I mean,
Not yet, but I mean,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
kind of a weakness. Is what at the end of the movie, Destino is saying. Well, the other people around you aren't so unstoppable, or
yeah.
It's the old, if I can't get to the hero of the story directly, I will go through their friends, quite literally through them.
Yeah,
well,
which
the way Destino was doing it at the end of the movie is like, you gotta be careful what you do, because you could get them killed,
yeah.
as if it was a consequence type.
Yeah. But that's a double-edged sword too, though, because she's quite powerful, and if he pisses her off, by killing one of her friends or family, I mean, that could backfire on him big time. So it's kind of a two-edged sword on that one, I think.
It's never that simple with him. Never.
Yeah.
Nope.
He does calculate a lot of different angles, doesn't he? So
Your dad's always a problem.
yeah.
Well, it wasn't until later that we figured out what his plan was.
He probably had several plans. It's just the surface one you picked up on.
No, he wanted revenge on Zalem. That was what his whole plan was. He's willing to adjust it to get that done.
Yeah.
When he gave the computer virus, it was just like, oh, crap. That's what he was going to do the whole time.
And the thing that made it good for him was they invited him back.
He
They
still
left him
killed.
in the front door.
He killed them all.
Yeah.
So we see here that Alita gets Makaku threatens Alita with the grind cutter, and she's like, "Yes, so."
Yeah.
Like I'm
Yeah.
supposed
It's
to
like
be
say
impressed.
she's stoic about it. She's not.
You think that's a threat? Kaboot.
Yeah.
I love this movement that Kishiro draws. It's so evocative.
Yes. It's like he's got done like a, well, it is a stop action, isn't it? I mean, it's like she's done that kick, and he's really good at drawing, at showing how powerful, a kick or a punch that she would be. and you could see it, from just the way he's drawing her leg, and kind of how it's kind of halfway blurred, but you get the idea that it's a really potent kick.
But if you look at the way the scene where Alita's dodging the grind cutters in the underworld at the start of the fight, it's very reminiscent of a lot of these panels.
Yes.
So they've pulled a lot of this from the drawings that Kishiro has drawn in the manga. They've basically turned it into action in the movie, which is terrific. That shows a lot of respect. And it says down here, how fast do you want me to go? 300 miles an hour, 400 miles an hour?
Yeah.
And Alita basically says, okay, the only way I can win is to fly right at his face and deliver a killing blow.
Yep.
So she does a bit more dodging and off she goes. And she runs up the grind cutter, which is what happened in the OVA too. She ran up the grind cutter.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it looks like she's gonna win. He's still got her old arm in his eye.
Yeah.
So it's an interesting part.
Well, that goes back to what when he was in the lab, I guess, with Shirin, and Vector, about how Shirin says that he wouldn't let me remove the hand because he wanted the pain, So that's kind of reminiscent of that too. He
high adrenaline.
Yeah.
So she's running up the grind cutter, and he goes, "Oh yeah, but wait, there's more." And he activates one of the other grind cutters because he's got 5, and smashes her into a wall. And Ido's like, "No, Alita," which he does in the movie as well.
Yep.
And he basically goads her some more. I felt in your general direction, kind of goading.
I have to say, the panels are pretty upscaled there. I mean, they're higher resolution than the books I have.
Yeah, this is Manga Al. They have some good scans.
Well, I tell you, Kishiro is really good at making Makaku look disgusting, didn't he?
Well, it's good.
Oh,
yeah. Like right there as an example.
Slavering mouth.
Yeah,
and the tongue, which is long enough to reach his eyeball.
Yeah. Or her hand in his eyeball.
That too. And the upshot on this page is he in love with Alita?
Ooh. The ooh-oo's coming out. Yeah.
That's right. And people running away because they don't want their brains eaten.
Yeah.
And then he decides to steal baby Koyomi.
Yep.
Because he's a complete bastard.
Yep.
Yeah.
And he threatens to eat her. And Alita steps in. And he says, "Is this your kid?" And she goes, "Of course not. I'm a cyborg, you dickhead."
Yeah.
Well, you never know. I mean, there's a mystery as to why someone who should be sterile has a kid that obviously looks like him. So,
yeah. And I don't think they had any kind of adoption agencies in the 26th century.
Well, I'm talking about Zala.
Okay.
Like, how did he reproduce? That's like the biggest mystery ever.
Yeah.
There's got to be somebody out there for everybody. You know how it is.
Yeah.
Well, Eli was his lover. He was getting a bit.
But his kid is white haired. That doesn't really work that way with dark hair, like straight up black hair.
Well, unless he's got a light hair recessive gene, I guess. Maybe that DNA is that part of it is recessive. Who knows? He'd have to get with somebody else that was light haired. I mean, he wouldn't be able to. If two people had dark hair, they would also have to have a recessive gene.
But what's interesting is in the 20-year flashback of 20 years in the past, back when he was a little kid and he beats up his dad and the butler, only him and Barzold are there, no Eli. So she might have been more recent.
Yeah.
Possibly. They don't really go into her backstory much.
No,
She only sort of pops up a couple of times and then gets
well,
murdered.
we could talk about that more in the Ouroboros when Dusty Nova says something, but let's get back to this one. Sorry, I didn't mean to pull us
That's
off.
okay. It's always good to link these things together because
Okay, to be on topic, like Makaku, aside from his eyeball size, he looks a lot like KAOS in the sewer before he got burned up.
Oh,
Uh,
you're thinking of brother.
I don't know. Maybe Den and I were Siamese twins or something.
Anything's
And
possible.
Den's
but-
body
Yeah.
rotted after this separation.
yeah.
Think about it. Your skulls are connected, so you probably share a brain, I guess.
So who got the better of the deal? The guy who got flushed down the toilet, or the guy who had the thing implanted in his chest to split his psyche?
Oh, it's more than in his chest. He's basically the same as Neo from the Matrix in terms of having plugs in his body. And he's also got wireless data connection, just like Neo does to the Matrix. So you tell me.
Wi-Fi.
6-1.
Yeah.
So as in the movie, there's the hole smashed in the floor, and didn't happen in the manga. They went out and fought outside, probably because it was going to take too long to go through the floor, because the OVA wasn't very long. But you can see there that he's buggering off with Koyomi, massive body, tiny little baby, and Duke Fang goes after. He jumps down.
Yeah.
And the bartender's beside himself, and the leader's like, I got to do something about this. And the hunter warriors are cavorting because they're still alive.
Yeah, and they're all cowards.
Mm-hmm. You mustn't go,
Well,
Alita.
most of them, I don't think any of them have like full berserker capacity. The closest I can think
Well,
of
that's
is
true.
Lee, but
Yeah, that's true. What's really cool about those top two panels right there, I like how Kishiro has captured Alita's determination. I mean, you can just see it, right there. It's kind of like in the movie, isn't it? She's looks like she's got that single-minded focus going on right there.
Yeah.
So,
and
It's,
that's what I was thinking of later, talking about like comic book references, because a lot of things panels seem similar to something else. Plus, there's Easter eggs as well.
yeah.
well, these top two panels is the I do not stand by part.
Yes.
That's like a verbalization of what she's thinking.
Yep. And of course, Ito says, don't go, which is the same thing,
I was
It's a
thinking
piece
of
of-
the side view from the previous one. I was thinking of like the Lone Ranger when he looks out to the side, like, I'm going to do this.
Yeah. Geez, Alita looks cute even in this. Holy moly.
Mm-hmm.
They sure give her a tiny nose.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there's the same thing. It's in the movie.
Yeah, very, very similar
Yeah.
pose.
Yep.
Sorry, that's so tiny. It's a double page. It doesn't display well. And she has a bit of a rough landing.
Yeah.
Smash. And she goes, oh, okay. So she's using her Panzerkunst here to bounce off the rocks as she's falling.
Yeah.
And she sticks her finger into the side of the column and uses it as a brake. So you can tell how strong the Berserker body is, that
Yeah.
cement is no barrier.
Yep.
And he goes, I made it. Now, where are you? And then the column decides to fall on her.
Yep.
I love this shot here. It's like, crap. She goes, Kasplosh. And they hear it up in the bar, way up in the bar. And Ido is basically fretting that he can't do anything.
Yeah.
Yeah. And telling the other guys off for being such pussies.
Yeah, they're cowards. Yeah, exactly.
But Doc, does that child have a chance? And then he goes into explanation mode.
Yep.
I'm trying to remember. Didn't Makaku supposedly kill the parents first, then came back for her? I guess.
I don't remember seeing that
I don't
anywhere,
remember
but maybe
that.
it was in the supplementary
Yeah, I don't
information.
remember that.
So she climbs out and does the wet dog thing.
Yeah.
Not that I'm calling Alita a dog.
I don't know. She looks cute. Even wet, she looks cute.
Well, I mean, they used that when she came out of the water in the crash spaceship.
Yeah.
They use that panel as reference. So.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm sure glad that they took the, some really high points out of the manga, in the movie. That was really cool. Of course, when I saw the movie the first time, I didn't realize they were doing that, but after reading the manga, it's helped me to appreciate it even more, I think.
Yeah, I mean, I was watching through the movie and I hadn't read the manga for a while because I didn't want to remember it too closely. But yeah, you go back and reread and look at the panels, and you go, they've referenced that panel, they've referenced that panel. I can see that in the movie here, and it's that in the movie there. So it's not panel by panel retelling, but it's referenced all the way through, and that's why you can tell that it's that they've really given homage to the source material.
Mm.
And there's the alien face hugger sort of analog that's been mentioned quite a number of times. And then Alita gets all introspective.
I bet Cameron liked that.
I expect he did.
Yeah, oh good, he's calling out one of my movies.
Yeah, well, I mean, these days the lawyers jump up and go, "Oh, copyright,
Yeah.
sue," and it just ruins everything. You should be able
does.
to reference other things and put Easter eggs in and call things in, and
seems to me as long as you source it, you just and they do source this stuff, in the movie when they take maybe a scene out of another movie or a song or whatever, in the credits they always source it. So I don't get it.
I guess you got to get permission first, but if they say no, then you can't put it in there.
Yeah, that's right.
And Sin of Sanity.
Who wouldn't want, if you, like for instance, if you had a movie and that somebody else is doing a more current movie, maybe you did one a few years ago, why wouldn't you want them to put some of your stuff in there? Because it just kind of keeps your stuff fresh, So.
Well, that's right. I mean, people watch a movie and they go, "Oh, that's referencing that.
I remember
that in a while. I'll go watch it again."
Yeah.
It's like, come on, guys.
Yeah.
It's not like, the person with the most money when they die wins.
Mm-hmm.
That's not how life works. God,
yes.
Anyway, Sin of Sanity makes an interesting comment there about the OVA hair, the magical anime hair that just dries itself wonderfully.
Yes. Well, she did shake herself off like a dog, so
Well, no, I'm talking in the OVA, not in this.
Oh, okay, yeah.
That's what he's referencing.
Yeah.
And this is an iconic image where she's hugging herself and going, "What's going on? I'm feeling stuff."
Yeah.
And she goes, "Oh," she hears the baby and goes, "Oh, I need to get on with this. Koyomi, where is she?"
Yeah.
So obviously in the movie they didn't have this whole arc with baby Koyomi because Koyomi was an adult, which I liked as a change. I thought it was a good change, but then it removed this impetus to go into the underworld. In the movie, she went into the underworld chasing him because he needed to be stopped.
Yeah.
It was more the "I don't stand by" than the "I've got to rescue a baby," which, I mean, I can understand. I mean, I don't know that PG-13 you're allowed to threaten babies.
Well, I think she took it in the movie as a point of honor. I mean, like all these other hunter warriors are basically cowards. They don't want to have anything to do with Grewishka, and it's like, she says, "Oh, I can stop this," she says that's when she comes up with that line. I think that's really cool. I think it was a good change too. Now, once again, when I saw it the first time, I didn't know that. I didn't know that. I didn't realize that until after I read the manga. But
So she finds Koyomi, but can't see evil bastard anywhere, Makaku, and her danger sense is going off.
Yeah.
And she jumps out of the way as the groin cutters come zooming through. She knocks them away. And there he is.
Yeah, and then there's some of this same kind of narrative there, that he had in the movie, welcome to my old home,
Yeah. Old home, what does that mean?
Yeah.
This is where I was born and raised.
Yeah. Nice place. I love that. Yeah.
The child has served its purpose. My mother gave birth to me in a toilet and then flushed me into this stinking pit.
Yeah.
Nice lady. And then he gets a bit nasty with her because she's come here to rescue someone else's child. And he's like, I won't let you live. And you can see there he's crying because he wishes
If
deep
I
down
can't be happy,
kid,
no one can. That kind of idea.
Yeah.
but he wishes he was cared for as much as this, nobody baby is being cared for because Alita's here. So
Yeah.
he's obviously got mummy issues.
Yes, he does.
And he goes, now you're holding the baby. You can't move nearly as fast because the baby's body will be crushed to ribbons. So now I'll be able to chop you up. Nice guy.
Yeah. Wrong, though.
No.
Yeah, wrong.
And then before he has the opportunity, Duke Fang rocks up. And this is like awesome doggo.
Yeah.
How is Doggo going to change the situation for the better? Grabs the leader's old arm and rips it out of Makaku's eye.
Quite.
Yeah.
some-
Once again, he looks disgusting in that lower right panel.
Oh, yeah. None of that going around.
Yeah. You know what's interesting? Go back one there. See Alita holding that baby there and that bottom. Yeah, it's almost like she's got a motherly instinct, doesn't it?
Yeah. Well, she's a caring person.
Yeah.
She's also a combat monster, but she's a caring person.
Yes.
But it's true. Yeah, this one down here.
Yeah.
And so he needs some brains to get some endorphins. So he pulls out 3 heads out of his hip pocket that he stuffed there earlier. Just three guys whose heads he ripped off and just left in his pocket, like they were lollies. My God.
Yeah. Disgusting. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Disgusting number 6, or is it number
Yeah.
10?
See, now he's. I guess he's not human. I guess so. I guess he's kind of human, maybe, or he started human, or whatever.
He was, but this whole body isn't human.
Yeah. Now he's not. He's more of an android, but it's almost like he's a cannibal.
Head
Isn't
with the
it?
worm attached.
Yeah.
That's all he really is, because that's the body of Kanuba that he's sitting in, and the head is his.
Yeah.
Yeah, Kanuba, the
Motorball.
the chant. No, he's not Motorball. He's
It was
Oh, I was
champion
thinking-
of the Coliseum.
Yeah, the
but they
Coliseum. That's what I was
streamlined
thinking
it
of
for
the
the
movie.
film, which I can understand.
Yeah. And she leaps up and gets the plasma fingers going and say goodbye to your hand.
That's right. Ugh, I
And then
wouldn't
she
want-
gets some oil that she found there and she swipes it under her eyes.
Yeah.
And she says, "Don't touch the baby or the dog. Not when Alita is your opponent." and
Yeah.
she activates the plasma on her arm, and it blows her shirt off. Because
Boy,
what shirt can sustain itself?
I
with
wouldn't want
plasma?
her mad at me.
Nope.
Oh,
And a bit of posing and some
yep,
burning fabric later.
yeah.
It does that. I think that's actually the end of the chapter. So she's there ready to kick his butt.
Yeah, it's abrupt.
Yeah,
And that's the next one for next time. So
yeah.
Battle 6 struggle. But we leave Alita. That's right. It gets a bit bonkers here. Where are we?
Yeah, I've seen that one on the bottom there in several tweets.
Yep. Somebody even put I do not stand by in the presence of evil into that panel, which it fits, but it's not
Yeah.
the original.
Yeah, it's not right. Yeah, that's right.
Because the I do not stand by comes in. It doesn't come in the Kodansha translation. It's only in the original Viz translation, and it's during Modable. So that's where they got that from. If you only have the later translation, you will not see that stated anywhere because they do not translate it that way.
You know, in the movie, when Alita gets her berserker body, she's very much like this Alita, isn't she? She's yeah, very much.
Basically, comes into her power.
Yes.
And doesn't stop it. You know, like no wallflower.
Yeah, she doesn't learn everything about her past, but she's starting to get in touch with it, I think, you know. So in the movie, I really like at the end, you know, I appreciated it a lot more after I read the manga, but how much at the end, you know, when she kills Vector and she attacks the Centurions and all that stuff, how much like manga Alita she is, you know, as opposed to at the beginning of the movie when she had the doll body, you know, just a cute little teenager, you know, that kind of thing, you know, whereas at the end of the movie, she's more of a killing machine, you know, so.
Young woman killing machine.
Exactly.
He must have had some fun drawing this.
Yeah.
I reckon he looks back on it as the time of his life.
Sure.
I mean, I can't draw to save myself, but certainly writing, you know, really emotive stories, you feel really good. It's like you're living.
Well, his imagination is vast. I mean, good God, look at all these books he's written. You know, I mean, good God Almighty, there is a lot to it. You know.
And let's hope he doesn't stop anytime soon.
Well, I saw something he's working on Volume 8 of the Mars Chronicles. So I saw that somewhere.
Well, yeah, I've read ahead with fan translations. So yeah, it's continuing just slowly. He's not in a rush anymore.
Is he still playing games?
Probably.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, he's been doing this most of his life, so you know he's got to have a break occasionally.
Yeah, sure.
Just as long as he doesn't give up on it. That's we don't want to.
Yeah.
If you ever want to see an end, I'm going to be working on finishing that game.
So, how much did this is an aside, but how much did Kishiro have to do with the game? I've never heard anything.
Yeah, me neither.
He overall liked it. It was a person has this on YouTube, and I'll try and look for it. But there was an actual expo footage, and it was featured there to a cheering crowd. It says Yukito Productions translated on the cover.
I wish they would translate that thing to English.
So he had a lot more to do with the game than he did with the OVA. Obviously.
Yes. Well, he didn't like the OVA, did he?
He didn't.
Well,
he didn't like how she was like she didn't lose the first time.
What I've read is that he was really busy writing the original series while the OVA was being produced, and he didn't have time to go in there and guide them when they were scripting it. So he basically walked in at the end and saw what they did and went, "Oh God, you've changed it so much. It's just not right." And he was a lot younger man back then. And as I've mentioned multiple times at various conversations I've had about this sort of thing, when you're younger and you have a vision for a story, if anybody messes with that, you have a lot of trouble with it, because you would think that as you get older, you get less flexible. But actually, when you get older, you relax a little bit into things and let life happen, because you know that you just being uptight about it, you get the wisdom to know that it's not going to work. You can't stop life from changing things, you included. So I think that as you get older, a lot of people, not everybody, but a lot of people start to relax and go, okay, it's still got the bones of my story, so that's okay. It's still quite faithful, but it's not a retelling. It's a translation, like the movie was from the manga,
or a slight modification, maybe. So.
I mean, if it was possible to do that movie 20 years earlier, he may have had some issue with it because it wasn't sticking to his story. But being that it came 20 years later, he's got that wisdom of understanding that not everything's going to come out exactly the same way every single time. Yeah. And it's something that the guy who did Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, Douglas Adams.
Yes,
he understood that very well as well. Every single version of his Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy was different, because he said it's a different medium. It's got to be a different way of telling it, and he rewrote it for every single thing and made every single one of them different. So if you want a different take, just grab a different media, be it the audio plays, the TV series, the movie, the books. All of them are different. The story has the same bones, but it's told differently because it's a different medium. And a manga versus a movie, they are quite different media, and they need to be approached in different ways. So
it's also a time. It's an issue of time too. This isn't the 1990s anymore, and obviously in the manga they don't show as much cell phones, but in the movie they do. Yeah, that's one thing. I mean,
it was updated for the times.
Exactly.
Yeah. I mean, back in the 90s, they couldn't have, foresaw how big cell phones were going to be.
How small they were going to get, because they started out huge.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they started out huge, then they got kind of small, then they're getting bigger again.
So well, that's because they became multimedia devices, and you needed screen size.
That's right.
But it's the convergent devices thing. But it's another thing. If you look at Star Trek, when the original series had the big CRT screens because that's all they had back then.
Yeah.
But then if you look at the series that was supposed to have come before that, Enterprise, they have flat screens because it's the future. It's the future of now, and obviously technology's moved forward and we've got flat screens, so they put them in. And it's just one of those things that you just roll with it because
Well, except that there's a series called Enterprise, and that's the one Scott Bakula was
that's what I'm talking about.
It's supposed to be set before the original Star Trek.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah. So
but they had flat screens, whereas later on in the timeline, but earlier on in the production timeline, the original series, which didn't have flat screens. So it's a little bit of a headcanon if you want everything to line up, all the ducks to line up. If you understand that time moves on and things are reinterpreted, then
Well, I think they did have one flat screen on the bridge, that big one, that was up in the front of the bridge, that they would see everything out in space and that kind of thing. I think that was a flat screen, but
I think it was a rear projection.
Well, it might have actually been a rear projection, but are you sure that maybe maybe they didn't foresee flat screens and made it big like that? I mean, it'd be hard to think that they would, because all the other screens in there, like you see the screens in Captain Kirk's quarters, and that it looks like the old the old
CRT.
computer, the old computer screens we used to have on like the Apple II and stuff like that.
The block screens,
Yeah, the blocks. Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, I'm just saying that depending on where you are on the timeline of the story and where you are on, the timeline of current technology, the expectation and the extrapolation from now into the future changes because the technology of that time that's been produced has changed. So it's one of those things where, it references the time.
Yeah.
So
plus they're guessing. So,
yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, the original Star Trek had, like tablets and flip phones and
Dick Tracy had a phone on his watch.
Yeah, that's right.
and now you can get an iPhone that does that. So yeah. I mean, all of these things become what's that term? Speculative fiction. So they're speculating on what they think the future will be like, and some of that speculation becomes reality because people go, "Hey, that's not a bad idea. We'll design something like that." And that's the beauty of humanity, in that they can take ideas from science fiction and make them science fact.
Well, when you think about those phasers, they use, the militaries around the world they're developing particle beam weapons now. I mean, certainly they're not going to be as powerful as what you'd see in the science fiction, but they're working on that today, and they're working on things like rail guns and stuff like that. So
version 1 of anything is
the rail gun is real though. It's just
the rail gun is real.
Shot.
Yeah, it can shoot a projectile at like 5,600 feet per second or something like that, which is almost twice as fast as the fastest bullet that is fired. But I've read
that's faster actually.
That's what I'm saying.
Mach 1 or 2.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying it's faster than a bullet, but the rail gun itself, I've read that that thing has the potential. If as the technology continues to develop, they could fire projectiles at 1% the speed of light. I mean, that would be awesome power.
We already, as I think, CERN or CERN already does it's obviously smaller particles, but similar principle. It's a magnetic tube.
Yeah.
But over 90, like 95, 96%.
Something like, very fast. Yeah. But, rail guns are going to be a little different because they're firing, like a depleted uranium, kind of rod, is what they're doing, so it take a little more energy. I think.
The test rounds are copper.
Yeah.
Which is funny because, you've seen the copper rings jump off of an electromagnet, that kind of thing. Yeah. Well, that's what they're doing right there.
Yeah.
But it's so fast that even though it's just copper, it's fast. It's going to hit really hard.
Well, the thing of it is, too, is that with a rail gun like that, if they could get its full potential like that, when they shoot that at an object that's moving, they don't have to lead the object.
The big thing is it's safe. It's safe in the sense you don't have explosive chemicals the way regular artillery shells do.
Yes, that's right.
It's just an electric current.
Yeah.
I just wanted to comment on Avronaut's comment there in text chat about the Looper article. Yeah. That actually came out over a week ago, so it was referenced in the previous week's news. So we did cover that one.
Yeah.
Something interesting from a previous point in the manga that I wanted to bring up was when Mukaku says about the cyborg body that his wormy thing is in affects his mind. So there's a feedback between the body and the mind in the cyborgs in the Alita Mangaverse, where Mukaku was a bit of a deadhead because he was in this massive hulk of a body which didn't have any finesse, and so he couldn't finesse his words. And when he came out of that body, he was then able to speak with a lot more finesse. And it would appear that this body that he's in now, the one from Kanuba, also is very high spec and has a lot of finesse because he's still able to talk very fluently and put complicated things across. And I wonder if you can then say that Alita being in the berserker body is a highly finessed, high spec, cybernetic creation, and therefore, and it's got a lot of power, and that is then being reflected in the way she interacts with the world, in that she is powerful and focused like the body is.
Yeah. It's interesting. It's like, if this was real, like Makaku and Alita, it seems like their minds are so easily accepting of having different bodies. You know what I'm saying? Whereas a human, if you just took an adult and you could take their head off and put it on a cyborg body, there would be, if they could adjust, there would be a long adjustment period for that.
Hugo, anyone?
Yeah, that's right. And they'd had, well, for instance, if let's say that they did accept it, okay, I love this body. This is a great body, a cyborg, all that kind of stuff. They would have to learn how to walk again, wouldn't they? I mean, it wouldn't be like they could just walk like they had their old organic body. They would have to learn, how to. Well, a good example of that, I remember watching a video here not too long ago of Tilly Lockey, when she was explaining how she operates her hands, and she has to twitch muscles, in her arm, to learn how to grab. Well, if you had somebody like that, that had a hand and they lost it, they wouldn't be doing it, grabbing things in their mind exactly the same way they would if they had their regular hand. You see where I'm going with that? They would have to learn how to do their muscles differently to grab something, is what I'm saying.
Definitely. If you look at teenagers who have a growth spurt, the limbs get longer and their muscles fill out and things like that, they get very awkward for a while because they've got to relearn how to move this changed body. And you're quite right. It would take a fair amount of work, unless there was like some sort of sub-processor within your cyber core which could translate. Then you would have to relearn pretty much everything.
Well, that'd be like a software, kind of fix. I mean, it seems to me if that was the case, and you did switch bodies, and let's say you had whether you had a different or the same set of sub processors, it seems to me in a new body you'd have to have new code go in there, to enable it to, operate the limbs the same way or a similar way that it would with the older limbs. It seems to me it'd be that way anyway, thinking like a programmer anyway, so.
Yeah, I mean, microfine movements, certainly. I think there would be a certain amount of standardization within the parameters of the software running in the body that would be able to take information from the brain and go, okay, that's a right leg movement, I'll move the right leg. But the fine motor control would be the one that you'd really have to relearn, I think.
And while we're on the subject, I wonder how that would work, how it'd be different between the berserker body, say the tuned body, the Physiroid body, the civilian body. I wonder how those, that'd be an interesting, I mean, if this was real, that'd be kind of interesting to see the differences, in the code that you would upload to those sub-processors, I mean, it would be kind of, anyway.
I would think that just like, human has to train to build up their musculature and learn techniques and things like that and get the muscle memory going. A cyborg would have to practice with a new body to become competent with it. So it'd be like training, but it wouldn't be strength training. It would be function and movement training.
Yeah, that's right.
Dexterity, or like pulling an oar. You got to do the stroke right. Yep,
exactly. But having said that, I think the human brain is quite plastic. Plastic is a word used in biology terms and medical terms, meaning changeable. So the structures of the human mind can be quite quickly adjusted using repetition. A good example is just last night I was playing a game called The Ascent, which I hadn't played for about a month. It's a cyberpunk game. I think I mentioned it when we had that 5 favorite cyberpunk properties thing. Still playing that game. I've sort of stopped playing it by myself, and I tend to only play it when a friend of mine's available. We play co-op, but it has a certain set of key controls which are similar but not exactly the same to another game I've been playing recently with Angelus called Aliens Fireteam Elite. So when you play a computer game for days, weeks, off and on, you stop thinking about which keys you have to press and you just keep doing it, because you learn in your head what you got to do, and you're looking at the screen and your brain just tells you to push the right button, tells your fingers to push the right buttons, and you push the right buttons to do the thing you want. That's how people get really good at things. They there's 4 phases of learning. It starts at unconscious incompetence. I don't know what I don't know, so I don't even know where to start. Then there's conscious incompetence, which is I know what I've got to do, but I'm not very good at doing it. Then there's conscious competence. I have to think about what I'm doing, but I'm good at it. And then there's unconscious competence, which is I don't even have to think about it. I just do it. Have you ever been thinking about something else and pulled into your driveway and going, shit, I don't even remember driving home? That's unconscious competence.
Well, that's actually scary. That's
it is
scary, especially if you've been drinking.
I don't recommend drinking and driving at all, but that is an example of unconscious competence. You don't even have to think about what you do.
It can happen too when you're just sleepy, when I'm just tired on the way driving home.
Yeah.
Fatigue does it.
But your body, your mind is so trained in what it needs to do. It doesn't have to have strong thought instruction from your upper consciousness. It will do it for you. Or it's like walking. You know how to walk. You get up, you walk to the fridge, you're thinking about something else. You don't have to think about how to put a foot in front of the other. The only time you have to think about it consciously is if you realize that you're overbalancing, or you've stepped on something, or something's not out of the normal.
We're going downstairs in the dark, say.
Yeah. But this is what would somebody in a cyborg body would then have to develop. They would have to become, their brain would have to become comfortable enough with it to pass those instructions on, knowing the unconscious competence to get the body to do what you wanted without having to think about every little movement. I lift my finger here, I move my arm around here, I do this, I do that. So that I think would be part of the learning process with moving into a new cybernetic body, is getting that unconscious competence of using it.
Maybe in 540 years, maybe Uncle Creek can help Alita learn some of this stuff when she gets her berserker body. So, I bet your friend Joe would have some interesting concepts about this too.
Quite probably, yes.
Yeah, I bet he would.
I haven't dragged him in here for a while. I should do that again.
Yeah.
Maybe a nice visit.
Yeah, he has some real interesting concepts about this, I bet.
Oh yeah, he's actually been he's got into synth music recently, so he's bought all these hardware and software synths, and he's got all these control decks and things, and he's making his own music, sort of like 80s. Some of it is quite cyberpunky as well, that Vangelis sort of sound.
Yeah. Oh, I remember when Vangelis first came out in the 80s. I mean, he was really considered avant-garde. He was, I think some of the first stuff he did was for that series Cosmos with Carl Sagan. Oh, yeah. And that was very, I remember hearing that going, wow, that is really interesting music.
Well, that sort of Vangelis sounds with the long tones and the long notes and the little bit of warbling, that is considered, peak cyberpunk.
Did you have like a can sample his music or listen to samples
of who? Vangelis?
Exactly, that guy.
Yeah.
But
well, he did the soundtrack for that movie Gladiator, I think, that with Russell Crowe in it.
Oh, well, he did this.
Yeah,
Vangelis did the soundtrack to Blade Runner.
Yeah, Blade Runner also. That's right. Yeah.
That's the one that I really remember him in. And
Oh.
yeah, that's considered the sound of cyberpunk. And if you go to the loading screen or the opening screen of the Ascent, there's very Vangelis-y like music playing. So it's always referenced with people who are really getting into that cyberpunk groove.
Yeah, that other band or whatever, Tangerine Dream, came out a little bit after Vangelis. They did some interesting music too.
I want to tell the people in the comments something. Time for fan films.
Yes. Yes.
Or as Oddball would say, knock it off with those negative waves so early in the morning.
Yeah.
Yeah, Kelly's Heroes is a good comedy film, war comedy.
I think the Creek needs to produce or be executive producer on an Alita fan film, I think.
I need to get my script going.
Yeah.
Please.
I'm
You
sure
need somebody to give it
to volunteer.
If you need someone to give it an eye over for an edit, I'm available.
That's what you offered back in the trivia game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll send you the clip of whatever it is. Thank you.
No worries.
A fan film of Alita in the Badlands, where there's not that much in the manga, and that'd be kind of interesting, wouldn't it?
It would be. Yeah.
Yeah.
So far, I just I did that little GIF of the keyboard playing, but that's just it's simple.
Yeah, that would be a neat thing. Of course, if I undertook a project like that there, Maxie, I'd cut way back on my reading.
Well, you need to catch up first. I have to knuckle down and get the next chapter of my fanfic done because I've been stewing over it for way too long. It's going to be technically complicated because it's a 24 cyborg motorball race.
Mm-hmm.
So I've got to keep track of all the characters and which team they're on and what they're like and descriptions and events and actions and subplot and text and crap. This is complicated.
So Alita and Adjicutty on the same team, huh?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And yes, Teagle is going to be in it. for those who are like, you can't leave Teagle out.
Yeah.
Teagle's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, it's got the main point of it is going to be the battle between Alita and
Joshigan.
No, not Joshigan yet. Still working up to that.
Oh, okay.
Joshigan's actually not in attendance. He's off having his brain modified. Oh, sorry.
Oh, we lost KAOS.
We did. Now we've always got chaos, but the other chaos. No, Alita's battle with.
No, I just did that
Crimson
because I'm using my iPad, and apparently it does that, cuts me out. But
yeah, make those fan films, baby.
But yeah, it's Alita versus Crimson Wind.
Oh yeah.
That's a big battle in the manga.
Oh yeah, that's right.
So I'm referencing that.
Yeah.
It's all good fun. I just got to get on with it.
Yeah, in the novelization, she actually calls Crimson Wind sister, doesn't she? So, yeah.
So yeah, any more? I wish Dan had been here because he's doing all this animation of the manga panels, so he would have had some interesting things to say here. But he's auspicious by his absence.
Yeah, he said he was coming on, but he must have got caught up doing something. Let me see if he sent me a DM or anything. Nope. I sent him let's see. Well, I didn't send him. I didn't send it to him. You sent him an invite, didn't you, Maxie?
Sure did.
Yeah.
He messaged me because we were talking about doing our little watch party for Fist of the North Star, but he said he was out of town. So
Well, he said he was keen to come, so
Yeah.
I don't know what happened.
Yeah, something
Just
must
got
have come
busy.
up. Yeah.
Just got busy.
Yeah, why does the Kashiro have to make Alita look so cute in that manga? I mean, Jesus.
It's part of the attraction.
That's right. Got that uwu going. It's like he did that on purpose. Yeah.
So, do you guys have any points of this chapter that you want to sort of bring into the discussion? Is there anything here that?
Not really. One notable difference, of course, is that when she goes down to fight Makaku, she lands in the water. At one point there is no water down in the, in the movie, but slight
true.
difference, which kind of says, that berserker body is resistant to water, kind of like the doll body was. So.
Well, yeah. I mean, you got to get the seaweed out of the joints and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right. But no, I can't think of anything else.
I just liked how Makaku was arrogant because you can expect that when no one really stood a chance against him for so long.
Yeah.
Well, he went from quite a strong body that was, really dumbing him down to one that was even stronger and was sharpening him up, it seemed. So, I mean, he's in full flight. Creep the void.
Yeah, that's similar to the movie, isn't it? Because
he stole it. He didn't earn it.
Yeah, but in the movie, he gets a better body too, doesn't he? I mean, Shirin puts him in a much.
They pull
more
his head out
body.
and stick it in another one.
Yeah, exactly. So whereas Alita couldn't she couldn't extract his arm from his body on that second one. So he was.
Yeah, they mentioned it briefly, but it was based on a real. They said he had reactive, and I think that's a reference to reactive armor. How tanks have a layer of explosive in between two plates.
Yeah.
So that when you hit it, it uses the explosive charge to counteract the impact of their bullet or the artillery round. It's pretty interesting. I look up reactive armor. So basically, when she kicked it, it counteracted her. It either had a spring or something that counteracted her kick.
Well,
either that or it was just made gooder.
Yeah. Well, she sure is cute, though. That's all I got to say. So there you go.
Yeah.
We had an interesting little chat last night about I forget who it was that said that they had a dream about Alita. we hope it was an appropriate one. So
if it was inappropriate, perhaps they shouldn't have mentioned it.
Yeah, exactly.
To keep your mouth shut.
Speaking of dreams, let's just say someone ended up in the rain, had a bad day in the rain, but both times.
Are we having wet t-shirt competitions?
And there was
now?
last order where she thinks it's Lou, but it's not.
Yeah.
Or when she hallucinates about Hugo.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Well, I know that Kashiro also made her cute at the very beginning of Last Order too. He did that too on purpose. So anyway. Yeah, he does that.
I'm just having a look around to see if anybody's made any comments.
Yeah,
There's none there.
Yeah, I'm trying to, put them up on the screen there whenever I see them.
No, this is more comments from my advertising.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
But I haven't got any notifications that there's been any comments. I didn't specifically ask for them. I thought somebody might have said something, but not so far.
Yep.
Well, it's not as hugely long a chapter as the previous one. It is pivotal, however. She goes off to fight the big bad for this section, and of course the background in the next chapter is where it really gets interesting because it ties it to your dad, KAOS.
Mm-hmm.
So we got that to look forward to in the next one.
Yeah.
Alrighty then. So if we don't have anything more to add, I might start wrapping it up.
Yeah.
Not a hugely long stream this week.
No, it's a short
we were-
chapter.
We were
Yep.
missing. We were also missing some of our guests, so we didn't quite have. I'm sure that Den would have filled up 20 minutes for sure, talking about his videos and
Yeah.
how it relates to Goku and everything.
Yeah, that's right. You would. That's right. You would have got a lot of Goku there, which is good. I know when he comes on our stream, it's fun. We enjoy that. So.
So I was going to ask if I were going to do comic book references in a future stream, who I could send the pictures to.
Any of us is
Okay.
fine. Yeah, just drop it in a DM to Creaky or myself. Probably the best way to do it is dump it into a folder on a share drive and just share the folder.
Yeah, that's
rather
right.
than putting individual things into a DM.
So if you got OneDrive or Google Docs or Google Drive, any of those, Dropbox, any of that would work.
All right.
Yeah. And then you could just DM us the link. That'd work.
So, Creaky.
Yeah.
I got some more homework for you.
Oh, Jesus.
Well, it's not reading this time; it's watching.
Okay.
So next week's topic is Alita versus Makoto Misaka from Certain Scientific Railgun.
Motoko Kusanagi.
Sorry?
Motoko Kusanagi.
No. This is Makoto Misaka.
Her name is Motoko Kusanagi.
No. This is Makoto Misaka from Certain Scientific Railgun. We've already done Makoto Kusanagi. That was last week.
Yeah, that was. Yeah, that's right.
This one's from
the shell.
the Certain animes.
Yeah.
So Certain Scientific Railgun is the one where Makoto Misaka is the main protagonist.
Yeah.
So the characters of Alita and Misaka, more similarities than you might think. Now I know that did you start to watch Railgun?
Yeah, I did. I've watched a little bit. I'm good at that. I watched a little bit of one episode where I guess her and two of her friends were out there, and I can't remember their names, but there was this truck or something coming at her, and she was able to, kind of throw it over her head somehow with her ability. That's about all I remember.
I believe it was a car. It was a bank robbery, and
that's right.
Trying to abduct a kid. Yeah, I can tell you which characters were there, and I can almost tell you the lines they speak to. But anyway, moving on. So
is that on Netflix?
Yes, it is. Well, it is in Australia. I'm not sure about the US because there's always a regional.
He needs to
but have
search.
a look on Netflix. Have a look on Netflix US.
Yeah.
If you can't find it on Netflix, it's definitely on Funimation.
Okay.
They actually organize the English translation, which is very good. I know that there's a whole bunch of people out there who say subs are best. Don't listen to the dubs, but the dub on Scientific Railgun, I've only found one problem with it so far because I have watched it in both. But there's one mention of the use of the word tsundere, which they changed to playing hard to get, which is a shame because tsundere is a great word. I love it. Misaka is a tsundere.
Yeah, and just like Kishiro, they made the characters cute. So anyway, I gotta watch it then. So
yeah, but if anybody hasn't watched it, the complication is that A Certain Scientific Railgun is an offshoot of another manga called A Certain Magical Index. And there's sort of a magic side to this world and a scientific side, and there's espers and esper powers, and it's vaguely superhero-y. in that whole bucket of middle schoolers save the world, because there's a lot of that in anime. So if you've watched a lot of anime, you'll be used to that fairly quickly. It reminds me of the original Batman back when he was a detective, because there's a lot of detective-y stuff that they do, which is really interesting. You know, working out what the hell's going on and solving crimes and stuff like that. You know, like early teenagers solving crimes is kind of like what, but it just works. It's a really good series. Now, I will tell you for free that the part that I'm going to be comparing a lot of is the tuned arc of Alita of the manga, comparing it to season 2 of Railgun.
Okay.
So that's where the similarities really hit home.
Okay.
So if I would recommend watching from the start, but it's not one of these short animes, which is like 12 episodes and done. They're 24 or 25 episode seasons, and there's 3 of them. But season 2 is where there's an arc called the Sisters arc, and that is where you sort of go, oh, geez, that's a lot like what happened to Alita. So that's what we'll be discussing. So you kind of need, I wouldn't recommend rushing straight into season 2, because you need to see the character development through season 1. But season 2 is where it gets really.
Okay, so I'm going to have to watch all of this, and I'm going to have to read the rest of volume 7 of the Mars Chronicle and read some more of your fanfic. So
it's not like you're bored.
Yeah, that's a lot of homework, Maxie.
I can wait. I can wait on the fanfic, and we don't need the manga for next weekend, but we do need this. So
yeah,
but you watch that show. You watch season 2, and actually, I think it's only the first half of season 2, so up to episode 12 or 14 or something. I mean, that arc sort of has repercussions all through the rest of the show, because characters from it keep popping up and the relationship keeps evolving. But the really strong comparison is in the first half of season 2.
Well, remember on October the 9th, that's my topic. Cyborg technology of Alita Battle Angel. So I got even more homework for that one. So but that's cool. Here's another thing we can talk about too. I don't mean to get too far off the center here, but we could also do a comparison of Alita with Genos from One Punch Man, because there are some similarities there too, actually.
Well, you work that one up, and you can lead the discussion.
All right, I'll do it.
And you give me the homework when the time comes.
Yeah,
we are smashing through the topics, so we will need some more soon.
And there was some of that artwork of Alita and Genos. We can throw that in there just to remind people.
So you guys listening, check out Certain Scientific Railgun. Don't be put off by the slow burn on the early episodes. It gets really good. They just sort of working into it. I don't understand where this impatience of storytelling comes from. Like, if
I think it's kids these days. You get accustomed to these fast-paced movies that don't take much time to chew the fat. I'm bored with it because I was raised by my parents on 50s, 60s, 70s films, so I dislike fast films.
Well, I quite like a slow burn story. I like to be introduced to the different facets of the characters and their interactions and how it builds, rather than being dropped right into the middle of combat near the end of the story and not understanding how the characters interact and what they've been through together and how they've become friends and all that stuff. I like to see it built. Just to take another moment for this, but Certain Scientific Railgun, the 2 main characters haven't known each other very long, and the 2 other characters are introduced to the main character in the first episode. So they don't know each other at all, and they build bonds together, and they do stuff together, and they go through stuff together, and it's really organic, and it works as a proper story, like slice of life story, along with the action that's happening as well. So there's a lot of sitting around tables at at coffee shops and stuff,
Yeah.
talking stuff out. And one of the girls is addicted to urban myths. And if you've seen, you watch the series and then you go back and watch that episode, and every single urban myth is part of one of the arcs. Every one. It's like foreshadowing big time. It's great. So
in other words, all this stuff is all started out with coffee clutches, right?
yeah, it's just great. I really love the storytelling. It really works for me. Won't necessarily work for everybody. It really works for me. But the really emotional, really stinging story arc is the sisters arc at the start of the first half of season 2.
Okay.
And that is the direct comparison to Alita's story in the tuned arc. So
Okay.
that's what we'll be focusing down on.
Okay.
Well, Mac, I understand totally, because when I'm writing the script, I've had to like stop and just like, look, they already mentioned that in the manga. Like, you don't have to describe it, because I always feel the need to describe something and set it all out, but sometimes I just don't.
Well, I mean, even Kishiro, like in his storytelling, he puts the little footnotes in just because having it all verbalized within the story just gets too cumbersome.
There's some subtlety in the manga, and that's kind of what I like. That I like to be left up to think about it.
Yeah, I agree with Maxie. I kind of like a little bit of a slower pace, on storytelling. Now, I know Den and I have been watching Dragon Ball Z Kai, and that's got a slow pace to it, which folks would be surprised at. I mean, there's some places where it's got a fast pace, but the slowest pace they had was when he was in that damn regeneration chamber for like three episodes. And even Den said that's too slow. But I kind of like that, because you can kind of concentrate on it a little bit more, and it gives you something to look forward to too. If it's going slow and then you're kind of concentrating on it, and all of a sudden, boom, you're going to go to the next episode, which you haven't seen yet. So I think it works out pretty good. I think.
Sorry about that. My son just came in. He's not feeling well. So let's wrap this up.
Alrighty.
So if you want to come on and chat on the Alita Army live stream, talk about Makoto Misaka and Alita next weekend, if you know something about it or one of the other topics that we've got, please put your detail in the form link below the video window that's playing right now. It says guest sign up sheet. Click on that one. If you've got hopefully you've got a Google email. If you don't, you can get them for free. And then you can put your name down under a topic or suggest your own. As Craigie was saying then, he's got an idea for a topic, so we'll be adding that one. We can add any sort of topic that's got something to do with Alita or can be referenced back to Alita. So put your thinking caps on and give us your topics and come join us for the conversation. We'd love you to do that.
Yep.
Now, if you feel a little nervous about coming on the official live stream of the Alita Army, I know it doesn't always sound particularly official, but apparently it is. If you'd like something that's a little bit more pop in, something to test the waters with, you can always check out Creaky's live stream it's on roughly 24 hours before this one on his channel. Just rock up and you can get the link straight out of the chat window, and you can join. There's no sort of sitting around thinking about it for days on end because you've signed up or anything like that. If you just get the urge to jump on and say something about Alita, you can do it. And you don't have to, have excellent English or vocabulary or anything like that. We're happy to listen to anybody. Accents, if you want to practice your English, come on and practice it. We're quite happy as long as you're keen to talking about something to do with Alita. We're keen on listening to you.
Oh yeah, we are. Yeah, I know we've had guys on there like Finn Berserker or Finestro or whatever, however he goes now. He gets on the live stream. He's been on there once, and he enjoyed that, even though he claims his English is not good, but he did fine, And then of course we had Raul on one time, and he did fine, And it's we're not judgmental here. We just want to hear about Alita. We don't care, And if you can't speak English, come on. If you just say Alita about 5 times, we're happy with it. So it's good. It's all good.
Just try and use bulk English words because other languages I'm challenged. other language challenge.
But anything with Alita, we're gonna love it. And you'll be amongst friends. You won't be amongst anyone who's looking to criticize your English or anything like that. We're not doing that. I'm glad they don't criticize my English.
I play video games in languages I don't quite understand. It's okay. I wouldn't.
Yeah. So I mean,
and you should also check out KAOS's channel, where you want to plug your channel, KAOS, while we're here.
Yeah, I think I displayed his channel. I put it in the chat. Yeah, here it
is.
is.
The link was there. Yeah, but he does live streams and he does recorded videos. He plays Martian Memory, the game.
Yeah.
He's working on a big.
I'm going to take photos. I'm going to take snapshots from the game and translate what's being said.
Yeah,
that'd be cool.
I like KAOS. I like your jingle. That's very much like a 1960s radio station jingle.
Oh, the intro.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah, it's pretty cool. So
saxophone music, always good.
Yeah.
Sorry, I just had to let the cat out.
Life
goes on. So thank you very much, KAOS, for coming on. We're a bit short on attendees this week, but that happens occasionally. Oh, for sure. If you want to invite to any of the other topics, jump on the guest sign up sheet, put your name down, and I'll get the link out to you.
All right, I'll work on the comic book reference pictures to talk about at this point. Thanks.
Nice.
If you can come up with a topic to talk around that, just add it to the sign-up sheet.
I have a list thing, so I just need to do the work for that.
Cool. Well, it's always good for us to have a bit of context so that we know how to introduce it and then hand out the floor over to you and let you go for it.
Mm-hmm.
But it's always great to have other people come on with their ideas because, this is the 83rd episode. I've been on probably 75 or so of them. We start to run out of ideas eventually. So if you've got new ideas, if you want to be involved, let us know. We're always looking for people to become regulars if they're that keen. So, all the people who rock up every week in the chat and type away, you could be doing this too. You could be on here with us.
Or you could start your own stream. I mean,
that's another option.
Yeah, the more the merrier.
Definitely.
It's just going to help Alita, and that's what we want.
I mean, the point about these streams is to keep Alita current, to keep people thinking about her, keep thinking about the movie, keep thinking about the options for a sequel, and keep bugging the hell out of Disney to get what we eventually want.
Yep.
So that's the plan.
There it is.
So again, thank you, KAOS, for coming on. You're welcome anytime, buddy. Let us know. We'll get you in here. And thank you, our listeners, for joining us. You are what makes the fandom special. You are why we do this, why we stay up late at night in Europe, while we get up early in Australia. We do this for you guys. And, of course, we do it for Alita. So we're here for the girl, as Creaky is always keen on telling us.
You betcha.
And all that's left to do this week is the call to action. It'll be film those sequels, baby, on 3, 2, 1. Film those sequels, baby. Thanks, everybody, and see you next week. Bye for now.
Back when I was in the academy, we would follow every toast with a song.
You can't.
It's better to have loved
interesting twist.
He was an idiot.